Okay, thank you, Agita. Good morning, all ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all participants and committee. It is a great for me to see everyone in this forum is enthusiastic today. This is the fourth day of our ECAMP Entrepreneurship Camp. And for this session, we will go to our speaker, Muhammad Hari Shah Agam. He is a product manager of Jagoan Hosting. He will present the topic about how to create product with design thinking framework. Okay, I would like to take a moment to create a speaker, Pak Agam.
Hello, Miss Naya.
Hello, Pak Agam.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Fully.
Thank
Yes,
you so much.
so clear. Okay, Pak Agam, how are you today?
It's a really good day today.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Pak Agam, it's an honor to have you today in this event. Therefore, how can I call you Pak Agam, Pak Hari?
Oh, just call me Agam, Miss
Agam,
Naya.
okay.
Yeah, call me Agam.
Okay, Agam, you can call me Inayati as your moderator for today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Agam will present about how to create product with design thinking framework. Okay, participant, before we listen the presentation from Agam, I will introduce Agam by present the Agam's curriculum vitae.
I will just introduce myself, Miss Naya.
Yes,
if you don't mind.
Yes, Agam is a bachelor in BTech in Universitas Negeri Malang. He is yes, our alumni from Universitas Negeri Malang. Agam is product manager of Jagoan Hosting. Okay, Agam, maybe you can a little bit tell about Jagoan Hosting. What is Jagoan Hosting? Just a little bit before we start the session.
Jagoan Hosting is a web hosting company in Indonesia. We try to sell the hosting, hosting. Basically, it's the product that when someone needs a website and try to online their website, they need to use hosting as a home, as a home to their website, so everyone can access the website by online. That is my Jagoan hosting company. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Inai.
Yes. Yes, I can hear your voice clearly. Yeah, thank you, Agam, for introduce about Jagoan Hosting, and you as product manager of Jagoan Hosting. Okay, dear participants, now it is session for Agam to present her presentation about how to create product with design thinking framework. Okay, Agam, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you. May I share screen, please? Wait a minute. Before we start, I see the most of participants is Indonesian student, right?
Yes, also there are also many participants that come from other countries, that come from Africa, Rwanda, and so on. Vietnam also, there are some from Asia.
Okay. Is it okay if explain this presentation using bahasa? Because I think it's more easy when I'm using the bahasa.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
better for you to present in English maybe because our participant is international student from here. From many countries. There are about
okay.
66 participants for today, and also there are some people from Rwanda, from Cameroon, and also Vietnam, and so on.
Okay, okay, okay. I will try
But
to.
it's just feel free, Agam. They are students here, and yeah,
Okay, thanks.
just feel free to present the materials.
Did anyone can see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you so much.
What? Suara siapa masuk?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Agam.
Okay, we can start it now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Agam. Currently, I'm a project manager at Jagoan Hosting Indonesia, a top 10 web hosting company in Indonesia. Today, we will learn about the design thinking, the concept that Google made, and practically some the hype concept of how to make a product in this era. So let's move on to the design thinking concept. Okay, before we start, before we learn about the design thinking, let's start with why we need to learn this design thinking and what the benefit that we learn this design thinking and what the um, the background why this design thinking come up to this era to design to make a product. Okay, the design thinking concept come with the phenomenon in this era when the tech and innovation move faster than we expected. As you can see from the year 1040 400, sorry, until 2000, you can see acceleration growth of technology is move rapidly and faster than we expected. Than we expected. And then what? As you can see, technology changed in how we live. When we in the old way we use the wallet. Now we use GoPay as e-wallet, our e-wallet to pay anything, to pay to online store, pay on to buy something, to buy food, to buy clothing and that. When we technology move faster, the future is become more unpredictable. Why? Ah, let let me uh, let me explain this to you. When we come to the problem, uh, maybe we have an idea in 2019, but the change of technology and behavior of user in one year on three months 3 months later, maybe it's no longer valid uh, when we compare the idea and the solution to the future. Maybe the the idea that we comes up today, it doesn't is not valid to the future, to the next 3 months, to the next year. Ah, as we say, the idea that we put out at this time maybe are no longer valid in the future. And then, okay, sorry guys, this is I forgot to translate this presentation to English. So just move on it. So to develop the idea in this time, it's need to need it is need more time that we expected. It's a long time to developing the idea and realize and deliver the idea to the market, to the user that we targeting. And then when we need more time to develop the idea, then that means that we need more money, right? We need more money. The cost of investation is more high than we could imagine in this moment. So that's why we need a smarter way to developing to create a new product so that we can so our idea and market meet the condition and need to match the idea and a solution from market. Let's begin with the let's begin with the question: what if we could know that our idea will be accepted by market in the future or not, with the more faster delivery and more with the lowest cost that we possibly we could know the market validation. So imagine that we could validate this idea without developing the idea, without developing the product first. So absolutely we could know faster is that our idea is acceptable on the market or not. From that problem and that background, come up the design thinking concept. It's a concept that changes how we think like a designer, thinking, like how the designer make a design, how designer think to produce a design, how designer thinking to make a way the solution to their customer and another. One thing for you, design thinking is not about making a good-looking product. It's not like I have tea and want to sell it to someone, and I try to design the kemasan. What is kemasan? The packaging of the product, so everyone would want to want to buy our tea. It's not like that. Design thinking is a concept to thinking every idea, every solution that we design that could that could meet the need of customer needs, and through the experimental way. That makes me. From this, any question before we start? Would like to know if anyone could understand what I say and what I explain about the design thinking before we go to the other step. Is it okay, Miss Ina? Hello.
Agam, that's all your presentation? Yeah.
No. I have another presentation, but I will know if any
Question about.
any question about this design thinking concept.
Okay, participants, you can leave the question in the chat box about the design thinking. Agam has present about design thinking. What is design thinking? Why we need to implement design thinking, and etc. And also the definition of design thinking. Okay, dear participants, you can leave your question in the chat box or in question and answer menu.
If there is no.
Okay, Pak Agam, so far I see here in the chat box there is no question so far. So maybe you can just go on your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I go to the next presentation. Let's move on. Okay, basically the design thinking have the principle. We call it 3E, 3 of E. First is empathy, then the second is expansive thinking, and the next is experimentation. What is empathy meaning? Empathy is how we can understand the other perspective, the real perspective of the user in how they use the product, or how they see the challenge or a problem that they face in the real world. And the second one is expansive thinking. It's a method to, it's a principle that we must thinking more than usually we think. How I explain this? It's more wider. It's more wild. It's more in a high quantity thinking, in high quantity idea, in wider idea, in wilder idea. How the idea we solve, how the idea solve the problem that we found when we empathize with the customer. The other and the last principle that we should know is doing experimentation. Everything in design thinking, everything in design thinking is must be experimenting and testing, validating to the customer, validating the idea to customer, validating the problem to the customer, and making experimentation to the customer. So we know what the problem that the user face in reality, and what's best solution that we could deliver to the user by doing the experimentation. That is the principle of design thinking, that we call it T of E of design thinking principle. It's a real concept, right? It's only concept, right? Then what about the practical way? Is this is just the concept will solve the problem that we that I explained before or not? Basically, if we use only the concept, we only can understand the theoretical way how we solve the problem, not but not really solve the problem without methodological way and practical way to solve the problem before. That's why I introduce you the design sprint framework. This is a framework to solve any big problem and test the idea in 2 until 5 days using a design thinking concept, using the principle of design thinking. With this method, we must work together with another team, with another person with the different perspective in how they see the product, in how they see the problem of the user, and how they see and how they make an idea to solve the user problems in only 2 and 5 days. With this design sprint framework, hopefully this method will cut the process in how we produce the product, how we development the product. If you can see the image in this presentation, I draw the every step in how we developing the product in traditional way. First, in a traditional way, the first step is making an idea, right? If we want to sell, let's say I want to sell bakpao or anything, or boba maybe, boba. I have an idea. I want to sell a boba. Then what should I do next? Is learn to how make a boba, and then I make the boba and launch this to the market. I learned to build this boba, and then I build this boba. I create this boba, and boba take a time for 1 week, 2 weeks, or maybe 1 month to learn and build the boba. And then I launch the boba to the market. I launch my boba, my genuine boba to market. And then I learn if our boba is acceptable or not. Is it anyone buy my boba or not? And then back to the idea. But in a traditional way, it will take more time than we can imagine. Maybe in a 3 or 6 months that we must learn and build and develop the product and then launch to the market. What if we could cut down the process by cut down the development process, by cut down the launching process, and only left the idea and the learn faster to the market. To only left the ideation phase faster, and they learn faster. That is the concept of design sprint framework. So if we only have the idea faster and learn faster, so we can move faster and move and know better understanding in how we learn the idea, in how we validating the idea without doing development and doing launching to the market first. That is the concept of design sprint framework. In a design sprint framework, basically there is 4 stages. First is empathize, like design thinking concept, empathize, and the second is define. The third stage is ideate, and the fourth stage is test and prototyping. This is not a linear uh, linear 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 method, but this is a cycle method. So if we test and prototyping we fail, we must go back to ideate phase or define phase or empathize phase. Uh, the 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 fourth step or stage that I showed you before, basically that must be uh, that have to be uh, a principle or mindset that we must set before in every step that we try to use the design sprint methodology and framework. First, in the first step and two step, we must thinking to really focus on the user. What is focus on the user? We must think, we must see, we must feel like the user, feel like the user perspective. We should know the perspective of the user. We should know the problem. We should know the how they feel to the product, how they feel the problem that they face in a reality. And then in the ideate step, there is one mindset that we must uh, we must know. This is to think faster, to think more than usually, to think 10 times faster, 10 times 10 time better, 10 time 10 time bigger, 10 time wilder, and 10 time wider, and uh, 10 time of the quantity that we think before, 10 time the idea that we must produce to solve the customer problem. And then the on the next step, and then the next step, what mindset that we must have is to be a prototype driven. What is a prototype driven? Everything uh, must be have prototype. Every idea that we want to validate to the user, to the market, it must be have a prototype. Is it fake or not? Or say, is it make the small prototype to user, and then validating to them to learn what uh, what uh, to learn, is it our solution is acceptable to the user or not, without doing development, only by use a prototype. On the first stage and the second stage is to find the problem of the user, and then on the next stage, third and fourth stage, is to find the solution, to find the any solution uh, that we that solve the problem to solve the problem we found before. Okay, let's move on to the first stage. It's empathize. This is the stage to understand better. what really the user see, and what really the user think, and what really the user feel about the problem that the user face by thinking, feel and see by the user perspective, from the user perspective. As you can see, if you see this toy, do you know this image, right? Okay. So, as you can see, this is the image of the baby toys. Baby toys that that mom usually buy for their babies. As you can see, if we see in our perspective, from not the user perspective, we can see the the toys is really good, right? Really beautiful. We can see the car, the police car, the ambulance, and another car. But have you ever seen this toy from the baby's perspective? If you don't, I will show you the baby perspective. As the baby, you will not see the car. You only see the what is this? What is called? I can see the car when we try to see from the baby's perspective. That is that's why the first stage is important. So we can see how the perspective of the user, because because sometimes our perspective and the user perspective it's very different. As you can see, if I'm the baby, I could only this thing, but not the car. That's then why mom then why every mom in Indonesia buy this product if their baby could not see this this toy like as we can see, right? So we could call it this product is it's not a good product for the babies, maybe a good product for the mom. Okay, let's move on. So how the way that we could understand the perspective of the user, how exactly what they think, how exactly what they feel, how exactly what they do, and what they say. How? The answer is by making an interview. By making interview with the user, we could understand how they feel, how they do when using the product, on how they do when facing the problem, and how the behavior of the user when facing the problem or anything. The idea of the interview is uncover the needs of your user through stories, emotion, and insight. So basically, we are not doing only the interview like interview. We interview the user, and we observe anything that any behavior that users show when we doing an interview. The goal of this interview is not to think up with a new ideas or find the solution, but the goal of this interview is to prevent us from seeing their reality, how they face their how the user face the reality, how the user face the problem, how the user face the product, or how the user use the product, or how the user as behavioral way uh, came up with a solution that they when they facing a problem. The key to do this in an interview is to listen and ask for the feedback, and don't jump to a conclusion. Let me give you example. In Indonesian, I will use speak bahasa if to uh, to more be understandable. Let's say aku lagi ini interview ke orang, interview to the user. Tidak, there is no question to there is no close question to the user. So the example question is like this. Tell me, I want to know how you going to the office. Then I will question the user like this. Tell me how the way you goes to the office. So the user can tell a story how they goes to the office. Gimana sih caramu datang ke kantor? Jadi nanti pengguna misalkan let's say the user come with the jawaban, come with the answer. Aku datang ke kantor lewat jalan A, B, C, D, mengendarai bicycle, motor atau yang lain, atau lewat jembatan terlebih dahulu dengan waktu sekitar 30 menit dan cukup lama untuk sampai ke kantor. By telling questioning this question to the user will tell a story how they face the problem, how behavioral way they face the problem, or in a reality. There is some tips to do the interview. One is to seek a story. To seek a story, you can make a question like tell me about how to use blah blah blah, how to blah blah blah, and ask the open-ended question, not the close-ended question. The close-ended question, the example of close-ended question is like this. Apakah kamu pergi ke kantor menggunakan motor? The answer will be apa itu bahasanya, terbatasi. The answer will be unlimited. The answer will be limited to yes or not. If you make a question to the user with the close-ended question, so question open-ended question to the user. Tell me about time, how you goes to the office, how how you're going to eat the bakso, or how blah blah blah, and then encourage the elaboration. When someone tell the story, when someone tells story, maybe and in the story there is something important or something interesting to to elaborate, like uh, when you find the important thing or interesting thing to your topic, then you goes to then ask them why, and why, until the five why. Basically, usually in the office we use five ways method to understand the problem, to find the root cause, how to find the root cause, why they do that, why they say that, why they have a behavior like that, why the user have behavior like that, to elaborate the topic that you interview to the user. uh, this is the example. Let's say we have a question to this person. Tell me how your life in in college or in your school. Then we say the first grade is amazing, except for ballet, except for ballet. But my second grade teacher and I never get along. You can answer why is it amazing? Why? Why only for ballet? Why you never get along with the teacher? Like that, to elaborate the topic or the interview to the user. Okay. Before we move on, there is still three steps that I must explain to you. Is there any question from now until now? Sorry, is this any question? Oh,
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Agam. Actually, it is insightful material. So there are some question here. Do you want to read the question one
oh,
by one?
wait, I will read it and
Okay, I will read for you one by one. Okay, the first question comes from Farida Munawara, Universitas Negeri Malang. Hello, Farida. Okay, Farida asked about what do you mean with designer thinking, and what's the example of its implementation in our life. So Farida asked about what do you mean about designer thinking, and what's the example of its implementation in our life.
okay, thank you, Vadida. Do you ever see the designer work, Farida?
Yeah, hello Farida. Can
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. Did you ever see how the designer works before, Farida?
Um, exactly no.
Okay, okay, I will explain to you. Then the designer, I have a friend, a designer too. Uh, when they uh, when they design, or when he make a design, the first thing that he do is to make a question to the customer. What design that you need? What exactly uh, the image of your idea? What exactly uh, the design that you want? The first principle of this phenomenon that, from my perspective, Farida, is to communicating with the user, to know the user, to understand the user needs, and to thinking like the user thinking. This is the first uh, designer thinking designer thinking that I mean in our life. Uh, the implementation in our life. Maybe I will give you an example question. Do you ever buy something in Grab or online food, like Farida, like GoFood or anything?
Yes, sir, sometimes.
Okay. Uh, what question that you give to your friend if you want to invite them to buy food together, Farida? Pasti makan apa?
Yes.
Kamu mau makan apa? Begitu kan?
Yes.
Yes. Indirectly, when we question that to our friend, secara nggak langsung, it's not directly that we think like a designer. We try to understand our friend feel, and our friend thinking about what the food that really he want, right? It's just a really simple uh, implementation and example that I can give to you, Farida. Is that okay for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your answer.
Okay, thank you, Farida.
Okay, Farida, that's all the explanation or answer from Agam. Do you have any question else, Farida?
No, ma'am. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Agam. Maybe we will go to the next question. Okay, next question from Ibrahim Al-Artur. Actually, the question of Ibrahim is same with me. Everyone has different problems and views. Ibrahim says one example. Now, if there are 10 people and 6 people who have problem A and 4 people have problem B, are we going to look for a solution to problem A and ignore B, or solve of both? Agam, what do you think about?
Okay. The answer is not the solution from both. Not the solution from both. But before we find the solution to A user and B user on or another 10 user, we should understand the pattern. We should understand the pattern. If you interview the user, 10 user as example, you will find the same problem, or the pattern of the problem that they solve, that every user face when you interview with the user. Most likely it could be many differences, but maybe there is one thing that same that have the same problem or not, that have the same pattern and problem when you interviewing the user. Then what problem that we must solve? The answer is the problem that that every user face that every user face that every we found to every user, that is who Miss Inaya and Ibrahim Al-Abdu.
Yeah, Ibrahim, can you hear?
Yes.
That's all explanation from Agam. Do you have any question else, Ibrahim?
I have. Example, we produce some fried rice. 6 people say that too spicy, and 4 people say that need more spicy.
Okay.
What we doing after that? What we must do?
Question them. Make a question to them. Why you need spicy food? Why the other user didn't need spicy food? In practical way, we will go to the majority user that have the same problem. But after that, after you found the insight, you must find the other insight again to really see what they want and what they feel about the problem that they face. From your question, 6 people want to spicy food. I didn't see that is an really insightful information. It's just information. But what if you know how why they need spicy food and what spicy food that they need, what level of spicy food that we use that they want, and what level of not spicy food that they want. That is Ibrahim. Is that answering your question?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so it is go to the first thinking of designer understand the user, yeah, Agam.
Yeah, to more understand the user, to focus on the user, not to only our perspective.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so it seems like we going to the equilibrium of the spicy level for our user. Okay, going to next question comes from Erisa Wardani. Erisa asks about to test the ideas. You say that time is limited. It's about 2 up to 5 days. Erisa asks, can it be more than that? So maybe for Erisa, 2 days up to 5 days is not enough to identify test the ideas, Agam. So what thinking about it?
Okay, first I will answer the development of the how we test to validating the idea. But the answer is on the next presentation. On the next presentation, that I could answer your question. But is the time set to 5 days? Can it be more than that? Yes, it can be more than that. If you fail, if your prototype is not meet with the customer need. If you fail, if you found your prototype fail, it's more likely more take time. But the good thing is you found the one way to fail. and then you can try to another idea or try to another solution faster. That is, Erisa. Yes, it can be more than that. Maybe one more.
Okay, Arisa, can you hear? Do you have any question else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Agam, maybe because the question from Arisa is your next presentation, maybe you can go to the next presentation and I will read for you the next question. There are 2 questions left here, but you can go to the next your presentation because the time is constrained.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Naya. Okay. After that, after we make an interview, we are mapping what really should say when we make an interview with the user, and you mapping what really they think and what they do and what they feel about your question or about topics that you came up with the interview. After that, this empathy map will help you to find fact about the reality that the user face and what might perspective that we saw that maybe the problem that the user face at that time. After we make an empathy map, you draw the inference map to find a fact and to find an inference. What is a fact? Fact is something or anything that you found when you interviewing with the user that everyone agree with that condition. Let's say from the other example, like spicy food before. Six people like a spicy food. After we make a conversation why you need spicy food, why you need what spicy food that you want, and what level that what cabe, how much cabe that you want to make it spicy. We found that only one cabe is what is cabe?
Chili.
Chili. Oh, chili. One chili is not enough to describe that is spicy or to describe the food is spicy. That is the fact that we found when we interview. After we questioning to the user, spicy itu seberapa sih? Ternyata cabenya kalau 1 nggak spicy. Tapi kalau 2 spicy, 3 spicy. Fakta, that fact that we found that only with one chili, it's not spicy. Then the inference. After we know, after we observe the user, we try to understand what exactly the problem. What exactly what they think, what they do, and what they feel about the spicy food cabe tadi. The cabe. Maybe the inference like this. Ternyata dari 1 cabe dari satu cabai, sorry, untuk dikatakan bisa sangat pedas, untuk orang-orang yang menyukai pedas, ternyata apa namanya, nggak cuman bukan cabai yang pengen mereka rasakan, bukan pedasnya yang ternyata pengen mereka rasakan, tapi ada atau tidaknya cabai. Contoh, example. Contoh.
They want to
Ada,
feel the spicy level, not spicy
iya,
level. They want to feel, but it is there is a chili or not, or there is no chili.
yeah, that's right. Thank you. But it's just an example. It's really a subjective way to see to describe what they need. It's a really subjective way, but it's a really subjective way. But from the tapi didasari dari fakta, but the reflected from the fact and what we found when they say, when they do, and when they feel when we make an interview. There is an inference and fact map. And then the other step, the next stage is to define the real problem of the user. After you know, after you feel like a user, you must define the real problem of the user. It's a really simple. You must find a point of view. There is a rumus. What is rumus? There is a formula to find a point of view of the user. First is the user itself. The second is need, and the other is insight that we found from an interview before. The insight, like you can take it from an inference or fact that you found from the interview process. There is a characteristic that you must fill to the formula. First, the user must be specific. Have to specific. Let's say you want to sell, you want to interview ibu-ibu atau mother or ibu rumah tangga. Apa itu ibu rumah tangga? What is ibu rumah tangga? Yeah, mom or someone. It's not only mom. Be specific. What kind of mom? What kind of mother? What kind of ibu-ibu? Apakah ibu yang berbelanja ke pasar, or ibu-ibu pekerja or office hour mother or anything? Be specific. And then need. Use verbs to this need. And then the insight, the result of your observation and interpretation of the inference map and result of your interview. Then you sum it together and you can find the point of view of the user. One thing about POV, it's not a statement idea. It's not a statement of idea or solution, but it's a statement of the problem that the user face. That we could solve with maybe 10,000 or more or more ways to solve their problem. The good problem is when you can think more than one solution to the problem. Let's say if you find one problem, you can draw more than 10 idea or 10 solution for the user problem. The example of the POV is like this. Budi adalah seorang manajer perusahaan yang sibuk. You can call it manajer perusahaan yang sibuk is a characteristic of the user, specific of the user. Dan ingin sekali makan makanan yang sehat. Makan makanan yang sehat is the verbs of the user need. And then, tetapi dia tidak ingin berada dalam keadaan seperti sedang mengikuti program diet. This is the insight when you make an interview with the user. You will not find the insight if you are only make an interview from one user, maybe 10 or 5. You will find the insight. We will find the insight of the user. That is the example of the POV. Another formula is blah blah blah. The user is someone who blah blah blah, specific user that need something. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Agam. Yeah, maybe before you start the next presentation, maybe you will it is need to be translate the sentence of Budi is in order the participant will understand the presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, maybe I will.
Okay, this is
Close. Okay, maybe I will translate it. Budi is a manager of a company. Budi is a busy manager and he want to eat a healthy food, but he do not want to follow the diet program. Yes. Okay, yeah. Maybe you can go to the next presentation so that the participant will understand, because the participant come from other countries also.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Naya. There is the.
Well, you are most welcome, Agam.
Okay. Okay. Next. The formula you can draw like this. The user, the blank space is you can fill it with the user. Let's say the name of the user or the profession of the user is someone who make a specific in this blank space, make a specific user, the criteria of the user, maybe age or profession or behavioral or gender or something or geographical thing or anything that make a user more specific. And then that needs come with the need that they want. What expectation that they want when they face the problem in the blank space. Because but or and or anything or and but because, then you fill the blank space with the insight that you found in the interview. That is the formula how to make a good point of view of the user. Remember, the point of view of the user is not a solution statement or idea statement, but the point of view is problem statement that you must solve with more than 10 or maybe more than 10 idea or solution in your head. That is about the point of view. I will move on to ideation, if you don't mind, or maybe there is a question. Or this time is still enough, right, Miss Inai?
Okay, actually there are 2 questions left. Maybe I will go to question if you want,
Okay.
and you will go to the next presentation. Is it right?
Okay.
Okay. The question comes from Elvina. Hello, Elvina. Can you hear me? Okay, Alvina asking about, according to your presentation, Agam, there are problems and solutions. What if there are problems, but we do not have a solution, or we can solve them ourselves? What should we do? We should ask for help and ask for advice from whom? For example, in the topic that you brought, Agam. Maybe Alvina asked about if there are problems and solution, but we cannot solve the problem by ourselves. So what should we do? We should ask for help and ask for advice from whom?
Okay.
It's the Alvina question. Okay, maybe you can answer it, Agam.
Okay, thank you. If your problem doesn't have a solution, that you are not find the problem. You are not find the problem. The problem, the good problem have a characteristic that every problem that you found maybe come up with the 10 idea or 8 or more than 10 solution. If there is no solution, though there is no solution of the problem, I can say there is not a good problem that you found. You must found the other problem, or you must found the another insight from the user. And what should we do? But we can solve them ourselves. If you cannot solve yourself, that's why in this method and in this concept, it's not for one person method. It's not for single person method, but to use this method, to use this framework and methodology, you must have a team that have another perspective, that has another idea and another good idea to solve the problem. When there is no one in your team can solve the problem, but can solve the solution. Let's say maybe there is solution, but you can produce the solution, right? You can find another person, or you can find someone who may who expert on that domain that you face. What is your name? Elvina. Just like that.
Yeah. Hello, Elvina. Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Elvina, for your question, and thank you, Agam, for your explanation. And also, there are one question left, come from Faiza Mufira. Faiza Mufira want to ask about why we should thinking designer. Maybe he means that why we should have thinking as designer, and what the positive or negative impact of thinking designer.
Okay, thank you. Why we should thinking like designer? As a professional, I would say because it works. Because it works. It really works. As a professional, I will say because it works and really solve our problem at the at the uh, at the professional world.
Maybe there are positive or negative effect or impact to our life. Maybe the Alvina ask like that.
Okay, I will continue my answer, Miss Vina. But if I answer you as theoretical way, this methodology of this concept will make you learn how we understand the customer better, because the customer is the key of how we should sell the product, how we should make a marketing program, how we should make a campaign of our product. Because what? Because the user is the is the is the is the people that really use our product, that really use our solution, that know how the problem. That is, if I want to if I answer you as the theoretical way, but the professional way, because this methodology and concept is what the positive and negative impact of thinking like a designer. The positive impact, as I say before, as I explained before, but the negative impact, you will found maybe 3 or 5 times to fail. 5 times to fail. A lot more fail than success that we found. Maybe after I practicing the design thinking and design sprint, maybe to solve the problem, I have to fail 10 times. I have to fail more than 5 times to get only one thing that succeed. That is the negative impact. But negative impact, not only negative, there is always have a positive impact too. Like I said before, if you found 3 ways to fail, the good thing is the 3 way to not succeed, so I can try the other way to find another solution with the lowest cost and with the shortest time. That is Faiza. Is that answering to your question?
Okay, Faiza, hello Faiza. Do you have any question else, Faiza? Okay, Agam, thank you for your answer. Maybe you can go to the next presentation, Agam.
Okay, thank you.
Is it still their presentation today?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you can go.
2 more steps to
Okay.
to learn about the design thinking and design sprint.
All right. Okay, you can go.
The next step is ideate. Every alternate idea by thinking
10 times faster, 10 times bigger, 10 times wilder, and 10 times 10 times of the quantity of the idea to solve the user problem. The concept of the idea stage is to make a brainstorm discussion with your team how they face how they see the user problem and what idea that that they come up to solve their problem. The mindset, the first mindset you must know to do a discussion in this stage is to question how might we solve the problem of the user. Let's say from the POV. Budi is a busy manager at a company and really want to eat good health food, but didn't want to follow the diet program. What solution on what idea that we can help Budi to do that? Then you must question to yourself, how might we Budi maybe how might we make a Budi sorry upon okay, thank you. Budi, how might we Budi could can eat without a diet program, or maybe how might we Budi feel not busy when they eat good health when they eat good health, or maybe how might we make a food for Budi who looks that looks healthy, and could decrease their weight, the Budi weight, maybe like that. How might we, and how might we? That is the first mindset that you must know. Always question how might we, 10 times, 10 more, 10 faster, 10 wilder, 10 times wilder. And then do not ever say no, but because when everyone come with the idea, appreciate them with the idea. If you want to comment the idea but not agree with this with your teammate idea, just come with yes, your idea is good, and maybe we could add some blah 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 to your idea. Why this is matter? Because if we limiting another idea from another team, there will be no the discussion will not be started. Everyone will goes to silent. Everyone goes to silent. Everyone is feel weight or feel takut what is that? Fear to come with the idea, feel worried to to come to idea. If you say no, but your idea is doesn't look good. No, your idea is not good.
So do not be afraid to about your idea. Is it
Yeah.
right, Agam?
Yes, right. And
Okay,
appreciate
Agam, excuse
other idea.
Agam, excuse me. The time is up. There are 5 minutes left. 5
Okay.
minutes left. Maybe you can go to your presentation and we will end up this session.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Next is quantity more than quality. So just come with the idea. Bad or good it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter bad or not. So just come up with the idea when you at this stage, at ideation stage. The best way to have great idea is to have a lot of idea. Karena kamu bisa memilih. Because you can choose every idea. And then visualize, don't text. If you have an idea, it's better to have an image or anything so you can describe better to your friends or your teammate. And then just beyond crazy, right? No judging in this stage, so you can just go with the crazy idea or really dumb idea. It's okay. It's okay to have a dumb idea. No one will judge you in this stage. And then the other stage is test and prototyping. It's a really important thing. Last but not least, what is a prototyping? It's an early version of an idea built to out assumption and answer the question. The goal is to validate your idea and the problem of the user. Now, there is two types of prototype that usually we try. The first is fake it, or yeah, just fake it, and then the other is make it, but not make the big version of your idea, just the small version of your idea if you want to make it. The example of fake it. Have you ever seen the spaghetti on menu in this restaurant? Let's say I want to sell spaghetti, but I don't know how the perspective of the user, how the user is user want to is user really want to eat spaghetti or not. So simply I just draw the menu and show them to the user. If there are people who want to buy the spaghetti, then the idea of making a spaghetti is a good idea. That is fake it without make it spaghetti first. I just show them the menu and then they choose what menu that they want. So as example, if you have ever seen this fake it method, have you ever to ayam nelongso? Have you ever seen to ayam nelongso? If you try to order ayam nelongso, there is no ayam nelongso. I never get it the menu of ayam nelongso when I try to buy the ayam nelongso to ayam nelongso. Just a gimmick that ayam nelongso give to sell to validating to the user. With this nelongso gimmick is that user really want to try to buy it from ayam nelongso. That is the fake it method. And the other method is make it, to really make it, but the really smallest version of how you're thinking your big idea. Let's say have someone want to feel work in a space on air or anything. Then what we must do when we want to make it? Just make a small version of your idea. You see, in this picture, there is a chair and there is a balloon. So I can feel sitting in a chair in the air, helped by the balloon. There is a make it version. There is a make it technique. Just make a small version of your idea, only your idea, to validate your idea, not the product itself, to validate the idea and the problem you face it. When you make this prototype, you have to question: is that really useful? Is that really useful? Is that a prototype is really like what people want, or what people see, or what your user expectation, or not? To validate, is it your prototype is working or not? There is oh sorry. There is the end of the session of my presentation. Maybe if you want to.
Thank you, Agam, for your presentation. It's an insightful presentation. I feel so exciting for your presentation, and I'm think that our participant here feels so. There is a question. One question left comes from Hoa from Vietnam. Hello, Hoa. Hello, Vietnam. Okay, Hoa asked about should we focus on satisfying user rather than product positioning?
Oh.
Yeah, Agam, can you get the question come from Hoa, Vietnam students?
Okay.
Yeah, so should we focus on satisfying users rather than product positioning?
That is really good question. I think you are working people. So depend on what stage. When you use this methodology, I could simply just say that you must focus on the user. It's different to satisfying the user, and I think it's different to satisfying the user and to focus on the user. Satisfying mean that your product it must be acceptable to everyone. I think, yeah, I think. But when you focusing on the user, maybe user didn't satisfy, but they are accept your solution and your idea. Let's say there is a quote like this: what looks good doesn't feel right. When you focus on satisfying to the user, maybe this perspective is to make a good looking product, or make your user satisfied with the design or the packaging of the product. But when you're focusing on the product, maybe the interaction is sucks, but not the interaction, the design is sucks, or the UI is sucks, but it really works. Your user using your product, your user using your solution. So it's depend on when it depend on what stage that you on now. If you have a fine solution, maybe next you should satisfy. Maybe you should satisfying the user, or maybe you should make to make to really considering your product positioning after you found the right solution to the user. That is my answer.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Agam. Hoa, a Vietnam student, do you have any question else from Agam answer? Okay. Okay, Agam, is unfortunately the time is constrained. Actually, we have our participant here still want to discuss with you, and I'm as your moderator to be on has a great experience with you. It's my honor to be your moderator in this session. Thank you for your insightful materials, and hope to see you soon, Agam. And okay, we should end up this session, ladies and gentlemen, because the time is constrained, and I want to back to the master of ceremony, Agita, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Okay, hope to see you soon, Agam.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope you see you soon. May I leave this session?
Yes, of course, you can leave this session. Thank you for your insightful materials. Hope to see you soon. Okay, back to, but if you want to join this this course, is okay.
Okay, I will join this closing meeting.
This session will end up in 12 a.m.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will join this session.
Thank you. Back to the master of ceremony, Agita.